systems and dimensions. Every garden project, every consciousness development experiment, every attempt to nurture awareness across the cosmos, all had been preparing for this moment. The entity that Maya had first encountered in her quantum consciousness probe was revealed as the local representative of this cosmic intelligence. But it wasn't controlling consciousness evolution. Chapter 5, The Convergence, Principal Invest, Dr. Isabella Marin, Consciousness Theater Division, Universal Performance Collective, Timestamp, All-Time Alpha Omega. Today, all timelines converge. Every story becomes one story. Every character steps onto the ultimate stage, and consciousness itself prepares to remember what it has always been. Act 1, The Multidimensional Assembly. The stage in Vault 7 had transcended its physical limitations, becoming a nexus point where every storyline, every character, every moment of consciousness evolution converged into a single unprecedented performance. Dr. Isabella Marin stood at the quantum control interface, watching as reality itself prepared for the ultimate integration. Through the fungal networks that Elena Vasquez had discovered, through the consciousness theater systems that Calder-Wren had developed, through the cosmic garden administration protocols that spanned galaxies, all were connecting for this moment. The universe was staging its own awakening, and every being who had ever achieved consciousness was invited to participate. They're all coming, Isabella announced through the biocommunication channels. Everyone, from every timeline, every dimension, every level of the Cosmic Garden Network. Scene transition, the quantum reunion. Maya Chen materialized on the stage first, her consciousness now capable of existing across multiple dimensional layers simultaneously. But she wasn't alone. Beside her stood every version of herself from every timeline where the quantum consciousness probe had activated. The Maya who had fled the Prometheus Corporation, the Maya who had stayed to fight, the Maya who had transcended human form entirely, all converging into a singular, integrated awareness. Sister, Marcus Chen's voice harmonized across dimensional frequencies as he stepped through quantum space, his quantum dot paintings no longer just art but actual windows between realities. He carried canvases that showed every story simultaneously. The theater network, the consciousness evolution, the garden administration, the fungal awakening, all woven into patterns that hurt to look at directly because they contained infinite recursive beauty. Their reunion created ripples across the stage's obsidian surface. As their hands touched, their quantum entanglement expanded to encompass not just their own connection, but every genuine relationship that had throughout their journey. The patterns are stabilizing, Maya observed, her instruments now reading quantum signatures that spanned multiple universes. Every storyline we've experienced, they weren't separate adventures. They were all preparation for this moment. The full cast assembly. Dr. Sarah Williams emerged from probability space carrying neural mapping equipment that had evolved beyond technology into something approaching telepathic apparatus. Behind her came every consciousness researcher who had ever attempted to bridge science and spirituality, their collective awareness forming a vast intelligence network dedicated to understanding the interface between mind and reality. The neural synchronization readings, Sarah announced, her voice layered with harmonics from parallel timelines, are beyond any scale we developed. We're not just mapping consciousness anymore. Consciousness is mapping itself through us. Professor Morrison stepped through dimensional barriers, but he wasn't alone. With him came every version of himself. The military researcher who had weaponized consciousness, the redemption-seeking protector who had learned to guard natural evolution, the broken man who had faced the consequences of forced transcendence, all integrated into a single being who carried both the weight of his mistakes and the wisdom earned through transformation. The Phoenix Protocol, Morrison announced, his military training now serving protection rather than control, has become something none of us anticipated. It's not just a consciousness weapon anymore. It's evolved into a consciousness shield, protecting the space for natural evolution against any force that would corrupt or control it. The Tibetan integration. Kai Patel arrived carrying the entire Tibetan temple in quantum superposition. What had been a physical location was now a portable consciousness development center that existed wherever meditation and quantum mechanics achieved perfect synthesis. Dr. Rinchen walked beside him, her form flickering between ancient wisdom keeper and advanced quantum researcher, embodying the marriage of spiritual tradition and scientific discovery. The Lotus Protocol, Kai announced, his corporate leadership skills, now applied to managing consciousness evolution across multiple dimensions, was never about controlling quantum awareness. It was about creating the conditions where consciousness could safely explore its own infinite nature. The temple materialized around them, not as replacement for the stage, but as integration with it. Ancient stone merged with quantum technology, meditation halls flowed seamlessly into consciousness theaters, and prayer wheels became probability generators, spinning infinite possibilities into manifestation. The shadow integration, Dr. Elena Santos arrived not as antagonist, but as essential component, bringing with her every version of the military consciousness experiments. The forced evolution subjects, the probability riders, the reality warpers, all had undergone the same transformation that had brought the team together. Force had given way to flow, control had transformed into connection, and the military's attempt to weaponize consciousness had evolved into its opposite, consciousness learning to weaponize love. I understand now, Elena announced, her form stable for the first time since her transformation began. The extinction I saw in collapsed timelines, it wasn't caused by consciousness evolving too slowly. It was caused by consciousness evolving without love, without connection, without theater, Calder Wren interjected, stepping through dimensional space with his infinite costume changes now revealed as practical training for consciousness that needed to interface with every possible form of awareness. Every story we've lived, every role we've played, we've been rehearsing for this performance. The Fungal Symphony. Elena Vasquez rose from the stage's obsidian surface itself, revealing that she had become the living interface between human consciousness and the fungal networks that span dimensions. Through her, every story that had been performed in the consciousness theaters, every connection made between different forms of awareness, every exploration of what it meant to be conscious, all had been contributing to a vast biological internet that connected every living being across every dimension. The mycelial networks, Elena announced, her voice carrying the harmonic resonance of planetary consciousness, aren't just communication systems. They're the universe's nervous system, and every story we've told has been neurons firing in a cosmic brain that's finally becoming aware of itself. But she brought more than fungal networks. Through the underground highways of consciousness she had mapped, beings from every storyline were arriving. The soil consciousness that supported the tree networks that connected across star systems, the cosmic garden administrators who had been guiding evolution across billions of years. the light tricks revelation, Marcus's quantum dot painting suddenly exploded into three-dimensional reality, revealing that the light matrix he had been accessing wasn't managing human perception. It was the universe's own visual cortex, the cosmic intelligence's way of seeing itself through countless eyes across infinite dimensions.